Good morning, everyone. My name is Peyton. I am the well-seasoned traveler. Welcome to my channel. Today is day 9 of my 30 and 30. I missed a couple of days, but I'm back on track now. I'm ready to give you guys some good information on hotel consulting. Today, I'm going to talk about 5 pros of being a hotel consultant. So, hotel consulting is what I do to make my money. It's how I live and how I'm able to travel as well. Hotel consulting is essentially it's temping, right? It's temping in a different, in various departments in the hotel. So there are a couple of companies that hire for these temp positions in the hotel. I will link some of the companies in the spots below, but there are a couple of places that you can go to get into hotel consulting. Now, if you have no hotel background, you're not going to be able to get into hotel consulting. I highly recommend, if you have zero hotel background, going to your local hotel, going to a hotel local to you and applying for a job. Hotels are always looking for people. It is obviously a lot of the jobs are front facing, so they're client facing. So you have to have an upbeat, good personality. You have to be able to deal with a lot of things, particularly if you are at front desk. You have to deal with a lot of things coming at you. But there are a variety of options in a hotel that you can do hotel consulting in, right? So let's get to some 5 pros of hotel consulting. And we'll talk a little bit more about the various areas that you can get in later. So number one pro of being a hotel consultant, I do not pay rent. I have not paid rent since 2021 when I started hotel consulting. As a consultant, I am given a contract, and part of my contract is that I am also given a room at the hotel. You'll see the room behind me. This is my hotel room. I even got a balcony this time. Woo woo. So part of the contract is living on property at the hotel. So you pay $0 in rent while you are on property. Now I have released an apartment, so I no longer pay rent, period. But you may end up staying at your apartment. I highly recommend doing things like staying with family, staying with friends in between hotel contracts. Contracts can, you can work a contract so it's back to back, or you can take space in between your contracts, which is often what I do. I will take a contract for 3, maybe 4 months, and then I'll go travel for a month, and then I'll take another contract. So, there are ways around it. I've said this before. A smart person who is doing hotel consulting would also do house sitting so that they could house sit in between their consultant gigs and never pay rent. But the goal is to not pay rent. The goal is to save that money that you would be paying for rent, to save it for retirement or save it for travel or save it for whatever your financial goals are, right? So pro number 1, I pay $0 in rent. Huge. Pro number 2, food. My food is either reimbursed or paid for me. So as part of my contract at the hotel provides me, I eat at the restaurant. I can eat at the hotel restaurant. Hotels generally provide a staff meal, lunch. I use lunch because I work 9 to 6 hours. There are other positions that might be overnight positions, so hotels will generally provide a staff meal per shift is kind of the situation. So I eat lunch at the hotel and then I eat at the restaurant for breakfast and dinner. Right now I'm doing that because I have spent all of my money that I had saved. So I'm eating at the hotel restaurant. It's not costing me anything. Normally, any food is reimbursed up to a certain amount every single day. I get a per diem that is reimbursed. So on the days that I don't want to eat at the hotel restaurant, I order Uber Eats or I go across the street and get something. I save all my receipts and I will submit my expense report, and that will be reimbursed to me up to a certain amount. Huge. So pro number 1, I'm not paying any rent. Pro number 2, I'm not paying for any food. So I've just taken out 2 major expenses out of my life that enable me to save more money, which is huge. And really a huge benefit of being a hotel consultant is being able to save that money so that I can then travel when I want and and save for retirement, meet my financial goals. Number 3 is a big pro for me. It may not be a pro for you, but I personally find it to be a huge pro. I don't have to deal with office politics. I am not a politics person. I am not the kind of person who sees the world as a chess game. I tried to learn chess. I never quite got it. And that is how I am with office politics. I tried to learn, I never quite got it. It never really worked for me. So I don't have to engage in that. I know one of the main companies that I work for has, as part of their requirements, that you don't talk about the job, you don't talk about, you don't engage in the chatter and the gossip in the office. I love that. I am pro that rule. I don't want to hear the chatter. I don't want to hear this person did that and oh, it's so bad. I don't want any part of office politics at all, which is why I am able to, I use this job to skate under the radar with office politics. I'm only in for a short time and I have no problem saying to people, oh, that's, I'm just here as a temp. So it's not something I'm interested in getting into. Works beautifully. And now I won't have to worry about career jumps or career rising through the ranks of my career. It's not something that was in the cards for me because I am just awful at politics. So this gives me a job that I don't have to worry about any of the politics. I don't have to engage in any of the gossip. I don't have to engage in any of that sort of the negative part of being in an office. I don't have to engage in that. And that to me is huge. I love it, right? So number 1, I don't pay rent. Number 2, I don't pay for food. Number 3, I don't engage in office politics. Another pro, a huge pro, depending on who you are, but if you're watching this channel, you're like me, I get to see different cities. So right now I'm in San Ramon, California. It's a suburb. It's leave something to be desired for me. I'm not a suburban girl. Suburbs make me itchy, like they make me claustrophobic. It's the strangest thing, but suburbs make me claustrophobic. So this is not the best place for me, but I've been in LA, San Diego, Chicago, New York. I've been able to live in some of the biggest cities in the US, rent-free, paying for no food, and being able to live and explore the city that I'm in kind of for free. I mean, anything above and beyond your allotted food amount, you pay for yourself. So I go to museums and I pay for that, and I do, touristy things and I pay for that. But it really, hotel consulting gives you the opportunity to see these different cities that you may not be able to see on your own, or you may only be able to afford to see for a weekend. This gives me the opportunity to feel like I'm living in a city or a suburb, and really experience what it feels like to live in the city. I know that I don't want to live in US cities anymore, but it's fun to not have to be kind of trapped anywhere and to be able to explore and live in these different cities basically for fun while getting paid. And last but not least, my favorite thing about hotel consulting is it is a gig job, which means I take a contract. The contract has a certain length of time. That contract can extend. I tend to always extend my contracts. Most contracts start at 4 weeks. And then if they like you, there's the option to extend unless it's a contract, which I've had before, where they hired someone, they know that person is going to be upskilled by a certain date, but they need somebody in the interim. I've had one contract like that. Every other contract I've extended, with the exception of one that I did not want to extend. So because I'm able to do that, I'm also able to say, I'm able to look at my year. I looked at my year last year in December and said, okay, I'm going on holiday this time, and this time. So my contracts will now work around my holidays instead of my holidays working around my work schedule. I don't have to take into account state or federal holidays. So I'm also not taking holidays on the days that are more expensive, right? I've organized so that my holidays are not around the most expensive parts of the times of the year. I'm not trying to spend a lot of money. Look, I don't pay rent. I'm not trying to spend a lot of money on anything. So I can make sure that I can organize my holidays when it is least expensive and most suitable for me, and organize my contracts around those times. I love that. I love being able to say, I know I'm going to Europe at this time. I'm going to Europe this year, the beginning of May, and I've got to organize. So I have a hard stop date in April. I can work up until then, and then I'm going to Europe. And then I have a few weeks, I'm spending time with family, and then I'll come back and start working again. So I really love the flexibility that it offers me. It really suits my lifestyle. Hotel consulting really suits my lifestyle, and it suits my personality. Like I said, I'm not a person who excels in politics. This way, I'm in, I'm out, I help where needed, and then I'm gone. And it's kind of a no fuss, no muss situation for me, which I really, really appreciate and enjoy. So the top 5 pros for hotel consulting: no rent, food is reimbursed, no office politics, the opportunity to see different cities in different parts of the US, and to the ability to organize my work around my holidays as opposed to organizing my holidays around my work. Those are 5 things that I really love about hotel consulting. I think they would be great. I think hotel consulting is a great job. It's a great gig. It's not really a job. It's a great gig for those of you who are looking to transition out of the US. Hotels also offer jobs all over the world. If once you get into a hotel, if you decide that it works for you and you can stay in the hotel and you want to stay at a position, you start in your hometown and you decide that you want to move to a different hotel in a different state, in a different country, all of those options are open to you. We don't talk enough about the tourism industry as an industry and as a job, but there are so many jobs inside tourism. Maybe I'll do a video on that, some of the jobs inside the tourism industry that help you, that give you the ability to travel. I'll think about it. I'd have to do some research, but I'll think about it. But the hotel industry is an industry people don't really talk about and don't really understand. There are a significant number of jobs inside of hotels. So let me just go over a few of them quickly. I work in the events department. There's also the food and beverage department, sales and catering department. There is general management, sales management, general hotel management. Engineering is a big one. People are always looking for engineers. The back office accounting, accounts receivable, accounts payable, and then HR. So those are 7 different segments of the hotel. And and housekeeping, 8. That's 8 that are potential jobs inside of hotels that you can get as a hotel contractor, as a consultant. So there are lots of industries that you can, if you're not currently in hotels, but you work in finance, see if you can look for a job in finance in the hotels. See if you can transfer some of the skills that you have. If you've been waiting tables for a long time, see if you can get into a hotel, either in the banquets department, in the events department. If you want to stop waiting tables, go into events planning. That's what I did. I went from waiting tables to event planning. Excuse me. So there are lots of options. Please, if you have any questions, ask me in the comments below. Please like and subscribe the video. Let me know what you're interested in hearing about. Tomorrow, I will probably bring you 5 cons of hotel consulting, and we'll spend the rest of the week talking about travel, of course. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, my name is Peyton. I'm the Well-Seasoned Traveler. I look forward to hearing from you and answering any questions that you might have. Please, again, like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.